Successfully, I'm in my third part now. I was able to save all my content even though I lost my other content, so praise Jesus. All right, now let's continue. Let's finish this particular discussion. I told you guys in the previous part that this cult in the country, upon spurring misogyny in the sky, now wanted to reverse that by causing women who had become misandric as a result of misogyny. They now wanted to reverse the misandry in women by causing women to be upset, angry, averse, and basically throwing their toys out the cart against other women. They went on a recruitment drive to hire credulous women that have got a violent ambition, that nonetheless have got some kind of lack in their lives and have got loose morals, into their occult organization in order, for crying out loud, to get to women. They're trying to create a Cinderella phenomenon where now the women that they want are going to be rescued by men. Now, if you are a woman that wants your own and you are all upset, etc., you are going to feel very grateful when a guy rescues you from other women mistreating you, and you will never ever see any flaw in him, and you will find yourself all content with sitting around gathering dust just because you've gained a reprieve now from your former sorrow under your treacherous fellow females in the ecosystem. I was born in South Africa in 1984. In the streets of Soweto, was I dilly-dallying, jumping up and down like a kangaroo. That's what's good. With a whole bunch of females. Yeah. Every so often there were boys, but largely nekitala scotch, limugusha, lebasadi, with women. And then I went on right ahead to get into primary schools and high schools, and I hung out during lunch and stuff with females. Yes. I then matriculated and went to university and walked up and down Wits University with more females. Largely, every so often I went to a party or two where we hung out with guys, but when I was retiring to my comfort zone, it was with females. If at all I was busy taking off my underwear and peeing with the door open, it was always in front of females. I grew to trust them, and I also grew to, have them in my life. I then went on and collected more females that I predictably tended towards hanging out with them. Even in corporate, where it is that if I was dealing with men, I was talking with them, hello, bye, what's going on in the project, but if I'm speaking for longer periods of time after the meeting has ended, it tended to be with more females. Yeah. Long story short, as a woman, I tended to incline towards hanging out with women more than anything, meaning that I garnered for myself a healthy amount of women in my life before I lost them all. Okay, listen up, okay? Nobody's gonna believe that a woman that gathered for herself Batia Martini friends to play with Limugusha that I sliced up, Lidi Chomi, that one day in 2014, one like strange, odd, ominous year, she just kind of lost every lost female she's ever had. Had it, buddy, when you look like a witch, you look like a witch, you look like a witch. Like when you look like Satan, you look like Satan, you look like Satan. When you look like Leviathan and Beelzebub, when you out, you're looking like something ominous, the omen, 666, like all up and etched in your forehead like an engraving, you look like a 666. Men, you look ominous. What the heck? Like, how in the world does a woman just lose every last woman in her life? That's the thing about witchcraft. It is such a Frankenstein. It is such a Frankenstein. It creates this like anomalous freak lady or this freak guy that is not human. It is something you can't really understand what exactly it is. Kodwa it's unseemly. It's Freddy Krueger. I'm sorry. You are into creating little Einsteins. Mamelang. Listen up, okay? There is this movie from back in the day, Day-o, me say day-day-o, daylight come and me no wanna go home, called Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Let's say that for a third time and see if he pops up. Beetlejuice. Ooh, guess what? He's not here. You know why? Because I'm Christian and he's a demon. Yeah, Beetlejuice is this random, forceful Okie that tried to marry, is it Gina Davis or Winona Ryder? No, it's Gina Davis, yeah. He tried to marry her by force so he can stay big or something, having haunted this particular house. And Gina Davis kept on saying, no, I don't want to marry you. No, I don't want to marry you. And each time that Gina Davis would say no, he would put like something on her mouth to block her. First, he puts a zip on her mouth and she opens the zip and says no. And then secondly, he puts a whole metal plate on her face and she's like, moo, 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 moo. Yeah, because Beetlejuice is actually trying to marry a woman that does not belong to him. Yeah, I like to call these occult beasts Beetlejuice. And even though you mentioned their names 3 times, like Candyman, they're not coming out of a mirror. Why? Because God is in control. That's what's good. Mamelang Beetlejuice. You're not gonna marry a woman off by making her a Cinderella. All you're gonna do is make her worry, crease her forehead, wonder, but like, why did I lose my cousin, my sister, my auntie, my this, my that? Bonke la bantu like Chicago, ne black man patine nabo, kom banana. Bahwe, bonke. I'm sorry. You win some, you lose some. Every so often you fall apart from people, you fall away, you break away, you lose relationships, you know. People break apart, but like not all of them. Unless Oshokafetse or something. Why in the world do you not even have a single female you ever had in your life before? Why are you suddenly being betrayed by every last female on the planet? Unless Beetlejuice is trying to marry you by force. All you look like is Frankenstein, okay? You just look like Beetlejuice. And even though I might say your name 3 times, you still stay tiny. Why? Because you are Beetlejuice, and a demon stays tiny and trembles in the sight of Jesus. Let's get long bora. Banna. I understand that you are out just sowing discord between me and women, and these credulous rando females. I don't care. Because for me, if you can capitulate to so much witchcraft, grandshab, you deserve to be Einstein. Nonke, you deserve to go chat to Beetlejuice. You deserve to go on your chat to Muntongena Mazinho, wonke apele lam lomweni. You deserve your chata inja, enomkaba kotomkondo. You deserve to go your chata inja, enga shefi to a point where iposhake ifika here. You deserve empilwen to go on your chat to Muntu, okogi makeup, he's in the closet, kota still funu chati made. Why? Because agafunu aga be ready to come out of light closet yakon. Uzo surprise like later gator. You deserve that. You deserve it. Hi banly busily blumling thingy, hoping or normal lifing. At some point I'm gonna settle, I'm gonna capitulate. If you are the kind of woman that is out just settling for Beetlejuice, and then later you make out of me some kind of a scare tactic, I'm sorry. What's gonna happen is that you're gonna end up the Frankenstein that you are, and like my cousin, your kid ranga mabonga na matswape yonkinto. Any now you is okay dryas. Lonna lenze dala dirupitena twadiang tena pa dirasa fela pa haraba shima pa ultra fela pa diang tena pa dirasa fela pa haraba shiman. Dirupetsa gago di tlo dula. Because you can't keep yourself in a bunch. You don't know how in the world to stick together as women so as to not allow yourselves to be little Frankensteins as a daughter. So di bora di twansa pa haraba shiman. Cause I don't have self-respect. 1 minute. Saying as much as you want kabanna. But the bottom line is this. I bani when a Beetlejuice o khonne ho lawyer to a point where o tlo nyala monna wa molomo o bolileng onkgang nna ha le tlong foster ke tswa modimo so ke ha le ka lo twantsa dirope tsa lona tse di tenang ba hara bashimane pela bona. Do what you want to do, girl. Like, do you? Mara ha le tseta let's ka tlong bora when nna jwanong se ke kreile breakthrough yaka and you allowed yourself to be the Frankenstein. How you gonna let yourself have a zombie apocalypse like that? Ke feeling like this needs to be the Revenge of the Stepford Wives. Have you seen the Revenge of the Stepford Wives? It's on YouTube for free. Go and watch it. First watch Stepford Wives 19 something 1952 or whatever, and then I'll get the Revenge of the Stepford Wives. At this point ke feeling like you need a revenge of the Stepford Wives because these buggers prosper to make out of y'all. These zombie busy twantsama dirope tsa lona mo pela bona ha ga bashimane because ase banna nyayatlhe nna ga ke chikita eo ke te respect dirope tsa mina tsa ke tsa mina isa ga di tlo twantsa ga bashimane ha ke tsata mo be ke tlo ga I do ko pela Beetlejuice and your chata mina o Beetlejuice. I said no once, I said no twice, and I will say no 3, 4, 5, 10 times over and over again, no matter how many times you might make yourself a matron for the occult organization that is recruiting Abafazi for the sole purpose of reversing the misandry against men. These men have charged for themselves, inspired in their own bones, misandry. Bati fentisi tsa wankutwa. Bati fentisa. They rock up in your life. They proper like get you abused by your entire family. Be acting out in these streets like he didn't see a thing. Yeah. Afiklile ka onesie. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Okay, yeah, Spider-Man or yeah, Superman. Rabobi. Whatever might be his character of choice of a superhero nature. And then rock up and rescue you. You're chat to Beetlejuice girl. Some sexual pervert. I must know Beetlejuice in the show Beetlejuice, in the movie Beetlejuice. He is such a perv. He's always hanging out brothels. Or the prostitutes. Marakima Obatalong and Gina Davis. Amban. Go and marry yourself. Die Beetlejuice. All loyal family how go fella ore go jigela. Go and marry Beetlejuice that turned your whole ecosystem of females against you. Do you, girl? But don't expect me to fall into that cesspool, because at the end of the day, ek is nie a zombie where me. Ek is nie a Frankenstein sansin. I'm a whole living woman. I got pilla my life. My heart is beating. Do you understand that I'm alive? I've been resurrected. I'm like Lazarus. I'm born again. Therefore, Beetlejuice, bam shang flying kick, and he stays tiny. If anything, at the end of the movie, somebody sprinkles salt on his head, and he's like, wow, while his head shrinks down to size, because he was just pompous to imagine. The way that I chat all these other pagan chicks. Frankenstein, it is the Frankenstein wa cherry, le Frankenstein wa monna banyalang. Mara e bane wena ngwana morena Jesu o tseba somandla proper o phamotswe wena from the flames of hell. Ba go phamotse, ba go ntshitse. Mara o busy ntonyana le Beetlejuice. Ha go nyala Beetlejuice, guys. Ha ke le tshabe, ha ke mo tshabelena lang kutlo. Ke right nna mo life nga ke ntrenge. Ha ke ntrenge angezi la entloko. A ke hlangi ke lo nyala monna nna ong tumpetseng family ka ofela, made them drop like dominoes. I get them bare baby na ke ta rescue. Pere onesie. What in the world are you doing ka onesie? Ha ke no batla motho like so mizi o tla tswang out of the closet, but not first before putting a baby in Palace's stomach. Ha ke bias kelemo. So these guys baba gay grandshap, they in the closet, the way they so envy women, they might as well be the cherry. Self. One day motho tlo fitla lo transition o tlo tikira king mang Bruce Jenner o tla bonyetse monna 10 years ka ofela 20 years ka ofela ba tlo fitla mo apere onoroko all up in your girl uzofika lana siyakutshela ukuthi igama lakhe nguCaitlyn. Yeah, no, go do you, girl. Do you, sister? Met your Beetlejuice something, because a man cannot envy a woman that much and her career that badly and not be gay. Like, it just can't be a thing. It can't. Bamo closeting Bamo closeting. Bahafara closet high and low. They like the teeny weeny incy pincy yellow polka dot bikini that they wore for the first time today. She was afraid to come out of the water. That's your man. He's in the closet, my opizing when you marry me. How's a man and so intimidated and so incredibly jealous of a woman? How's that even a thing? Unless he is trying to be a chick. Anyway, whatever. Moving on from these closet homosexuals that ultimately come out after you've given them 3 children. And you're like, ooh, but like what? In front of your guests? Yeah, when you're having a lunch, because that's his coming out party, because he's trying to be diversified and included, because he thinks he's in America. I can see how even that even happens. You're always in the gym. Even your pregnancy. Now you're always walking out like a gym bunny. You're marrying a dude that cannot even lift a dumbbell. What kind of manyalo looking and going? Manyalo aliken and going. Nakida kwa tlhaloganye, guys. When you're always like running laps around the athletics patch, lo muntu is going to pass away with a heart attack on top of you romping in the middle of the night. Next thing, how to from underneath him, and your children are going to have to call the paramedics on your behalf, and so you're going to be embarrassed that big fat chunky daddy and your kids have got to call the neighbors. Like, who in the world wants to be humiliated like that? You claim kaze kanjani unale 6-pack engwe ya high sale grandshap is an 8-pack mara ungetse mona umukalo this is not to be shallow. Mara, you gotta know when you're compatible with somebody. Is that basic? Mara, no, ngabo put madlesa shang korobela kata lapo or everybody in your life akakfun, and the only time that you're even able to get even some kind of a semblance of a normal life is when you're with this guy. It doesn't make sense. Rescue Cinderella kodwa mkhaba gage utile go phala pregnancy ya gago ya triplets kanjani. Hey, moving on. Ha re tsweleng pele bana ba balenyalang wait batsayeng mathang le bona we sing etsang marathon. Grab them, run into the sunset. Ke re ke halo calculate the future le bana that you did not sign up for. Mara nna kopa karabo le tsweng mo minaisa nna ntseng mo yona nthweo ga ke di kene ga go nyala put matlisa nna o shotang ka meno or o nang le meno lo antshana ka fa gare molomo ke ditse ka rena ke batla meno a street ga go nyala Beetlejuice. All different kinds of randos. I disaggestilwe nna monna ga ke sa di kena ga ke sa sbaya akere ga ke sa sbaya skelem mara le tletse ka ya lucy di cherry and le bona re grandshap le ya lucy nyana e ya lona by manufacturing by create local factory ya bona go occulting by kenze zangoma fire and abo zangoma fire that your little attitude has got it'll fade away. Since also fades away, Jaka how le motsofe o kwatetse bana jwanong because bana bana le hope, bana le future. Moving on. These guys are in the business of recruiting. Do you understand? Women that are credulous, I will say this again, credulous, so gullible, as well as kind of like, in some way, one manner or form or the other. They're struggling with something in life, so kind of desperation in there. And then they've also they also go for women who have loose morals. Do you understand? And so they could go either way, left or right, easily swayed. And then on top of that, banally, there was a fourth one that I mentioned, etc. Yeah, they go for these females, and upon going to these women, recruit them in a way that does not give away what their cult is about. Because like I said earlier, no woman is ever going to be content with an exquisiteness of misogyny, no matter how credulous they might be, how greedy they might be, how violent their ambition might be, and how much they might lack in life. There will never be a woman that does not at some point snap out of self-destruction against other women. Because at the end of the day, self-preservation is an inbuilt gift from God. It's the only reason we're still breathing as a very destructive human race. It is because we are self-preserving. And women as women within their womanhood are self-preserving of women. So therefore, you can never successfully recruit a woman into a misogynistic strategy and trust her to stay loyal to it. She will eventually abandon the mission. So they cannot admit what is going on. So they recruit these women under the guise of all things are spiritual. Lady Chica, let's just put that out there. And so because things are spiritual, if at all you want success in the future, as you can see right now, you are past umuputswa, you are in dire need of a glass of water. We can give you a glass of water, you can get your life together, you can gain success, you can gain prosperity, but nothing is mahala. You're gonna have to basically steal from some other place. Things are spiritual. If you want luck, if you want fortune, you're gonna have to take it from somebody else. That's the first petition that they put out there. Because they're greedy and they've got loose morals, they then are like, okay fine, I'll do it. Okay fine, I'll do it. They're prepared now to go and steal people's destinies. Now the next part is where it is that they tell them who to steal these destinies from. So they claim that it's just like a networking society. We are here to help each other along. In this world, not everybody can be lucky, not everybody can get what they want, but it is those that really capitalize on esoteric knowledge using spirits that get their best fill in life. So they feel chosen. Like, you know how you feel so super loved and adored to realize that God chooses his disciples? They too feel chosen by this devil of theirs. And upon feeling as chosen as they do, they then are prepared to do whatever under heaven it is that is necessary in order to get ahead. My cousin was recruited into such a cult as this, into this particular cult. She was recruited as a woman that was struggling in life with something. And there was a bit of lack. She wasn't where she wanted to be, but she had a violent ambition. And she also was credulous, gullible, and of course, loose morals. 4 perfect attributes for our recruits. And these women are promised protection from being vandalized by this occult society insofar as they agree to vandalize other women, but they never ever tell it to them along the lines of vandalize other women, because then at some point she's going to snap out of it because she's a woman and is so therefore self-preserving. To them, to her, it's just, this is the world, nothing is fair, unfortunately. I just so happen to be chosen by the chosen ones, and upon being chosen, I am now given an opportunity to get luck in life in a way that nobody else has it. So thank you for finding me. Thank you for finding me, random lackluster rando, because right now I am prepared to do what it takes to get out of the grain of nastiness. That's what's good. So Basadi Bana, they are lied to. They are lied to. And who it is that they are told to target is women largely. It is largely women, but they also include men so as to not raise suspicion. They say, go for your dad, go for your uncle, your brother, your male cousin, something like 10% of the time. But the majority of the people that they will charge these women to go after will be other women, and they will not care about their age either. They will not care about their age either, because at the end of the day, they've got a future plan. They've got a forecast, a trajectory going all the way into the future. So if you can get them early, if you can get them in primary school to be stay-at-home wives later, stepford wives, if you can train them from the creche level, cot, if you can train them straight from the cot, then by all means. So my cousin, one of her daughters, she's already stolen the destiny of The oldest one. She's already stolen that destiny. She has stolen the destiny of her own younger sister. She has tried to steal my destiny. She has gone after my older sister's destiny too. But you see, some of these people, they're involved in sorcery in and of themselves. So there's no protection that they gain under Christ. They are just like blindly following nonsense. I told you in my earlier parts, my first part, that my cousin's sister is scared of her. She's just a skivvy. She ought to be, because she's not where she's supposed to be in life, due to the fact that her sister has stolen from her. Women that are made stay-at-home Stepford wives for men, because they, no matter how hard they try, because that was their strategy. Since we can't get them to be ambitious, since we can't get them to stop being ambitious, since we can't get them to basically just drop out of university out of nowhere, since we can't get them to stop trying to, get their own, we're gonna force them to struggle to get their own. We're gonna make sure that they make less money than us, if at all they're making money. If they insist on working a 9-to-5 job in corporate, they're gonna be call center agents, they're going to be secretaries, they're gonna be personal assistants, they are going to be minute takers, they're gonna be administrators, but they are not going to run the show. So there are women that just can't seem to break past the grain of administration, even though they're really intelligent. They're always the 2IC or assistant of some man or some woman. They're always just following around some boss lady, like with papers following around all over the show. They're always breaking a heel, running up and down the staircases of corporates, basically trying to run the errands of other people. They can never lead. They're always in the tail. And when they go home, their husbands are the ones bringing in the majority of the salary. They're bringing in a lot of money. The husbands are the breadwinners in that ecosystem. Their husbands are always getting promotions. They're okay, they're good. But their wives, who are equally intelligent, if not more intelligent than their husbands, are always, just like I said, running up and down. That keeps on breaking because it's not even that expensive. Yeah, behind bosses, pushing paper, always admin ladies, always secretaries, always PAs, always desktop assistants, always just answering phones. Yeah, these guys are thoroughly trying to take back the hands of time. That's what they're achieving. So now if you are trying to get your own anyway, but you seem to be hitting brick walls with a husband on some "I'm here for you, baby. Oh, baby, I'm supporting you. I'm sorry you were so disappointing in your interview. Next time, yeah, baby, next time. Whoa, now that's making sure that you remain a switchboard operator. He's the one that's making sure you remain a switchboard operator. He's not even trying to pull strings on your behalf. He is spiritually manipulating that. So that the women that they recruit, they make sure that other women find themselves in that position. Like I said, my cousin, before her daughter has even matriculated, I think she's either end of primary school, beginning of high school now, it's over for her. Unless she gets delivered by God. Her little sister will never be anything prolific on earth, ever, unless she gets delivered. So she has right reason to fear her, because if you don't fear God, you gotta fear witches. If you have no fear of God, if you have no fear of Jesus, and so therefore seek out the deliverance of Jesus, of course you're gonna have to fear some devil-worshipping Satan lady. Yeah. So her sister fears her. She has no real reverence for her, no respect. She's just scared that she might cast more spells, because she is suspicious that her sister has done something to her, but she cannot prove it. She would never raise it, because her sister, she has seen what her sister did to me, or at least thinks that her sister did to me. She has seen what her sister has achieved in my life, and she does not want to trigger a witch. She doesn't want to get on the wrong side of such a prolific devil worshipper. That is hard knock to a point of even restricting her. Her sister feels so guilty for messing with her younger sister's future that she's always giving her younger sister little hand-me-downs. You know, when you're so guilty for decimating a person's future, that your couch that's worn out, you give it to them. When your car, when you pay off your car, you give it to them instead of asking them to buy it from you, and then you buy yourself a new car. When your carpet has been walked on for 5 years, you give it to your little sister. Yeah, her little sister is always just grabbing hand-me-downs from her, and that is out of guilt. That being a person in your life, and you are still talking to them, you're still smiling at them. Hey, the day this woman hopes will arrive when Minangitata ama hand-me-downs. Why? Okay, girl, I was the one giving you hand-me-downs. There was a time when I used to force entering into size 6 shoes when my foot had grown one size bigger than yours. Guess I would like a size 7 because I thought it was manly to wear such a big shoe size for a girl. Guess I didn't get a size 7 and busy a size 6. Until one day I woke up, I grew up, I became more mature, and I was like, yes, then it's okay. I guess size 6, guess size 7 in my life. And I guess size 7. And I gave her, I don't know how many pairs that Dumont, some shoes from Europa Art. That's size 6. tsene ke le botlhoko wait ke tintsha di-cons ke di apara because ne ke foster size 6 and I gave her designer shoes, something like 7 or 8 pairs nje fela, barely worn, and I gave them down to her because I was that chick trying to force myself into a size 6 shoe. Yeah, not only size 6. Yeah, I was the one that was always handing stuff down to her. And now she thinks the day's gonna arrive when I'm taking her worn out carpet. Are you serious? Like there was a day when I moved out of my apartment wanting to start from scratch again, and I put my stuff in storage. Upon realizing that I didn't like it, I didn't want it anymore, I'd only used that furniture for something like 3 years. I told my cousin, pay off the storage. That's what's good. Continue to pay storage. That's where it's at. And then when you're ready to move into your own apartment, you can take all that furniture. I furnished my cousin's essentially first house with her boyfriend that she moved in with. It was my couches, my beds, my curtains, my spoons, my little egg holder, my cutlery, crockery, everything, carpets, all mine, TV, yeah, my washing machine, fridge, yeah. She furnished her first house with furniture that I gave her for free. All I expected her to pay was storage. I was the one giving her hand-me-downs. And the same cousin, like, decimated my life. No gratitude. Ke mo file dieta tsa go Timondo le tsa go Europa. Nje fela mahala. Tse ke di apareng ha one le ha two. Because of the cons. Yeah. And then she destroyed my future, and she hopes the day's gonna arrive when I'm the one out here, like getting hand-me-downs the carpet that she's walked on for 7 years yonke, and now she's tired of it. I'm sorry, I'm not your baby sister, I'm Christian. I'm not going to fear moloi. But anyway, this chick is like the Madam Brothel. She's like the little scout for human trafficking talent that works for a pimp organization, a brothel prostitute organization that is trafficking young women. And she is used as the face of recruitment that is going to be trusted by young girls until in her clutch they realize they've fallen into a spider's web. That's what my cousin now today has made herself. She is nothing but a recruit for a satanic organization, and she doesn't even know it. All she knows is that she's given luck. That's what's good. By this organization that she works for, yeah, and it's given her a future, but in order for her to get a future, she's got to curse everybody else's futures. Yeah, I had a dream once upon a time of her saying in her mind, I'm sick and tired of cursing people. But according to her, in order for her to get anything at all that she wants in life, she has to keep cursing people. But you see, the people that she curses have all somehow conveniently been majority women. A good 90% of them have been women. It's her own daughter. It is me. It is my older sister. It is my I don't know if she's come against my younger sister yet, but like she keeps going for her girls, women around her, and then every so often she'll target a guy because the occult organization she works for can never have her find out that it is targeting the prosperity of women. They're trying to make us switchboard operators. They're trying to make us call center agents. They're trying to make us personal assistants. They're trying to make us the owners of bakeries, basically what they call typically female jobs. But the moment you be on some electrical engineer, the moment you're like project manager, the moment you're like senior manager, the moment you're like journalist, the moment you are like anything at all that is apparently a male-dominated profession, they will be like, I'm sorry, no. You will interview as much as you want. You will intern in a company to become a project manager and never ever get the permanent job. You will keep on sending out your CV in the market. Push up as an administrator. You will keep on running after people, big CEOs with paper. You will keep on ordering coffee for them. You will keep doing that because that's what a woman is supposed to do. If you insist on being inside corporate South Africa, do you, girl? Because we like watching you walk away in heels. But you are going to make tea. That's what these buggers are doing. Wena, that's busy making tea for a boss that is basically abusing her power and even sending you to go and buy her sandwiches in the coffee shop. Yeah, are going back home to a husband that's just gotten a 3rd promotion in 2 years. And you wonder what wena but at least he's providing. And those shoes that you love wearing, yeah, now he's buying them. He's comfortable to do that. That's what these men are trying to do. Imagine me, like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend was so substandard in comparison to me intellectually. That's what's good. Kabang, and I'm busy like just really struggling in an administrator job, even though I am this gifted. That's what they hope. Coming home ka salary ya 15,000 rands, while my husband is raking 50,000 rands per week, never mind per month. I'm just content that, 15,000 rand I'm doing it because it's fun to work. That's what's good. But my husband is taking care of every last one of my needs, even though I am smart in the worst way. I should be sitting on 4, 5, 6 degrees, but no. I'm just like busy gathering 12,000 rands a month as like a PA, answering calls part-time, and then going back home to take care of the children. always there for abantwana, while my husband keeps on getting tender after tender after tender after tender after tender. He's a millionaire, it's okay. I'm driving a Ferrari, mus. Get busy, man. I'm driving a BMW, mus. Yeah, but who's buying it? Him. That would have been okay if I wanted that. But you see, if I don't want to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and if I don't want to be answering switchboard phone calls, then honey, you don't get to force me to do it. But that's what these men are doing. That's what they're doing. So I mean, I'm sorry, I only get to die if I agree to marry Beetlejuice. Because I will always glitch and twitch, and I will always be so smart in comparison to him that he will see what a travesty it is that he's making more money than me. I'm not doing it. I am not a feminist, please make no mistake. I'm a child of God. Got that this rubbish nonsense. I have an occult magic. On that day you have made an enemy out of me again. Flying Europa ya size 6 eng fang di cons because ki di kwata di cons thing because precisely of lo kwata logo bese mina ngizo create a groove in your skull ka yona kwai ya teng o ska tlombora abuti. I'm not going to miss kwai esang lekane ngakere ke apere size 6 in mo lifeng ke le size 7 yang pincha yandi tsipa le kwai so but ngizokubulela ngayo. Is that basic? You will bleed from your jugular as in I am going to get to you ngekwai yam bruam singeza uzingeni indaba zokuthi mina ngiyophila dieting. Let's move to the next part because I'm worried now. So this cousin of mine, I had a dream yena le a whole bunch of other people and go tonya thing o control and I get my hwetsa lang monana ha ke mo rate motho na sang bora even though she used to be my best friend. Like what's going on? Dintang nna ke kgathetse ke ditoronyana tse borang o itse keng di tlhorisa and nna jwanong go di tlhorisa beka ke re batho ba teng nna ko lentshang yo ka ke le tswile mamina a crusty around here ha le batlo go tiphumula. You look like untidy children and I get to boy mo life le sa tlhape why di sa itlhakolesa ke mo ra batalo ikgotla ga ke tlhaloganye why di tsuri tsele the ants that you were chilling on in the grass when you were busy playing soccer why le sa di tlhatswe bosigo ga di khutla gae o tla o kena mo ra bed le nene yaka nna as mme wa teng o sa tlhapa o le na le mangwelenyana a ashi hade little tepo young tepo le young jomo o tlhapa ka nkana ke re o khotla o butene le teng ka sunlight dishwashing liquid ya buti ga ko dlala this time around. You don't deserve to use my foam bath since o ya delela kangaka kale bala Oedipus ga ko nyala ngwana ka ke re nna mo life ke hloka le bana le teng ba tellang ba deserving stone school ga ona mosadi o tlo nyalang monna o a sa morateng ha e bane ke mozalane ka nnete wa nkutlo. If at all she's truly born again, I guess she ain't gonna settle. Like get it ain't gonna happen, okay? Like it ain't gonna happen. Like a dream out. Moving on. Janong ke mo motako o dila ka circumstance nyana sa iring sense chiquita in my dream they get recruited. Like I said, she does not know what's going on. And again, yes, one thing that I believe is a second last point to highlight, Lana, cloaking spells. These men in the occult, they're very careful, especially when they belong to some pretty prolific satanic organizations. They're not just Lone Ranger amateurs rolling around, jumping up and down like a kangaroo on these streets, bewitching everybody. If at all they belong to a cult, the cult tends to be informed as to how certain spirits work. And so they know that Haibani, men are to be given brides in that cult by occult magic. They cannot have women ever suspect them of having done that. So they know to over and above doing a korobela spell, cloaking. Do you understand? Their faces preventing these women from ever finding out. Now, if women are busy hitting brick walls, like if you were that girl that was ambitious and you were getting your own and doors were being opened and you were busy getting interviews that are successfully getting you working for organizations and you were really just running swimmingly, smoothly throughout your career, and then at some point you meet with a chock-a-block. Unfortunately, in the black community, people when they meet with such chock-a-blocks anticipate that what they need to do is go bayo vakashela amasangoma. They feel ingati kwamele bayo bona something somebody ikobelanyana 1 or 2 something. And when they go to sangomas, right, are able kadi familiar spirits to, I guess, moharadi calabash bona mo memetsingi modi billing to see who has done what. So if you feel ingati inhlanhla zakho zivaliwe and then you go to a sangoma and nomuntu upon afflicting you azange wasebenzisa a cloaking spell, uzombona usangoma uzombona, the sangoma is gonna see that person and be like, gujabulo ubhize ngawe lensha. That's the sangoma is gonna come and tell you ukuthi lenja le jabu is busy with you. But if jabu belongs to an occult secret society, a lot of times 9 times out of 10 is that the witchcraft that they use is not going to be as amateur as that of a Lone Ranger, and so they will be counseled to put a cloaking spell on it. So you're not going to be able to find jabu out if he came from an occult organization. The guy from MTN that I dated ever so briefly, oh God, keep it very quickly. The Lord exposed him easily because he was not a member of a cult. He was a lone ranger, and so therefore his nastiness was shown me in a dream ever so readily and easily through my spiritual gifting. So if at all I was into devil worship and I went to a sangoma wondering what's going on in my life, he would have made us everything Alice was going to be exposed by that guy. But you see, I belong to Jesus, and so I don't need to go and consult mediums and like spirits, all that random rubbish. I don't need to do that. I just need to go to bed and sleep, and the Lord will give me a dream of witchcraft. And I saw that guy's witchcraft in broad daylight, and ever so immediately. The one from MTN. However, the dude from America, he was recruited into a cult that is linked to the black Hebrew Israelites. There's a bunch of men that he was always hanging out with, and they gave him counsel concerning cloaking spells. Whenever you do a spell, make sure you cover it. So azangambona, that's why I accommodated him for so long, and it would only take us breaking up and him treating me like trash for him to ultimately get exposed, because I ended up fasting. It's written in God's word that some demons only come out with fasting and prayer. There was in the beginning stages of me being with this guy, I wasn't fasting, at least not as at that date. So azangabona, and the thing that he is ikitre, like as in broad daylight, and his face and everything yaboni, so only when I was in a fast and only after we had broken up. So ultimately the cloaking spell was broken. So I believe that cloaking spells use entities or demons or spiritual wickednesses in high places. I believe that they use entities that only come out with fasting and prayer. Cloaking spells that hide people's identities in dreams. Zikitranje, get fasting, only fasting and praying will bring it out. If you don't fast, you will never see. All you will likely see, if at all you get a dream, is just something being done to you or seeing snakes and whatnot. But if you fast and you pray, with everything in it, and skid max is opuma. That's what's good. Yeah, so these women, because in black culture a lot of times people trust in amasangoma, spiritists, rather than in Jesus Christ when they are met with calamity in their lives, because they would much rather trust spiritists. Badula, whenever they are met with chock-a-block, you were successful, everything was smooth sailing, and the next thing you can tell, okay, something's up. You will then get advised by your auntie, cousin, maybe even in and of yourself, I'm your moon to girl, go see someone. And then they send you to some sangoma dude, and you're like, but what's going on? This sangoma dude will either tell you cousin yako, uma wako, ubodi, or he will be like, go no monto, because he can't see, because it's a cloaking spell. They will tell you somebody has blocked you and then break that spell. No, nobody but Jesus can break spells. All they're doing is incarcerating you further, and you will come to learn that ultimately in due season, because let's just put that out there. All right, there's no gift that comes from the devil. Anyway, whatever, right? That's what they will do. So what they deliberately do to these women that they recruit, I get they're trying to create discord between women, and the Lord hates those who sow discord between brothers. They try to cause discord between women so as to eradicate the misandry and increase trust in men, so that the Cinderella phenomenon will happen, where it is that a whole bunch of destituted females that were playing Chicago with some friends when they were growing up, but now they've got nobody, will then trust men to come and rescue them, like knight and shining armor, Prince Charming rubbish. All right, yeah, very well, okay, cool. What they do is make sure that the men, upon slapping the women with korobela to be with them, because they want them kankani, they use a cloaking spell, but they don't train the women cloaking spells. There's another guy from MTN that claimed himself a Christian as an amateur. He doesn't belong to a cult, but he is an amateur dabbler. Every time he casts a spell, nyambona, shilling, naked, like up and down like a kangaroo, all up in my grill. Nyambona 99. And it's like, have they not trained you to cloak? Type thing. Like, because then I would be wondering, Ngibana bani? Then again, I'm always fasting. However, I do know for a fact that he's not involved in this thing. These men, however, because they belong to a cult, their sorcery is a lot more advanced. They use entities that are a lot stronger. And so they will counsel them, the men that belong to their organization, that always put a cloaking spell before you cast ikorobela, before you do anything. Make sure no one sees you. Make sure no one sees you. Even if they go and they visit a sangoma, you cannot be brought forth in a calabash bash of water. You cannot be brought forth in a mirror. You cannot. They cannot ever blind a Christian dreamer, because whatever has been hidden in the darkness, the Lord will expose in the marvelous light. That's what's good, right? That's why all of these sangomas don't make no sense for you. That's what's good. Anyway, whatever. They enable the men to to put cloaking spells, but the women, they deliberately omit that portion of training. They don't teach women to conceal. They get amateur ladies that have never used witchcraft before, so they don't in and of themselves know to hide their faces in sorcery. And this is deliberate. It is so they can get busted. It is so they can get found wanting, so as to cause a society of women around that particular girl to be so angry and so mad at her, like villagers bringing out their pitchforks in the presence of a witch trying to burn her at their stake, and so cause women to basically turn against each other. They are raising up an army of devil worshipping women that are standing against other women. And they are making sure that these women don't know how to cloak their witchcraft, so that when somebody suspects ukuthi I am hitting brick walls, when somebody suspects that something's up, because why all of a sudden inhlanhla zami zivalekile? Why all of a sudden is my luck closed? Why all of a sudden are my fortunes falling apart? Why all of a sudden am I not getting job interviews, or am I failing every job interview? Why all of a sudden am I failing at school? Why all of a sudden am I sleepy at work? Why all of a sudden is my boss treating me bad? Why? Inevitably, people encounter choker blocks when witches cast spells. And in the black community, upon these, they inevitably exactly, because there's nothing agreeable over there. But anyway, moving on. They are always knocking on the doors of Amasangoma to do a strange eerie thing, to inhale a strange eerie impepo, giving yourself a strange eerie propensity towards a strange eerie cancer, but you're still in there. Anyway, whatever. And these sangomas then not only apparently allegedly break them free from the incarceration, but they tell them who exactly did what. And so Wonkumuntu now Archie knows what you did last summer. Yeah, you out here finding out that Lerato did it. You out here finding out that Pinky did it. Renee, you out here finding out that Cassandra did it. You out here finding out that Lebo did it. You out here finding out that Hotazo Homozo did it. Yeah. Uyaki drama bunga wobotigenaya puma all over the show inside these consultations. So unfortunate. What happens then to misandry? It takes a back seat in favor of hatred, girl beefing, in favor of catfighting, in favor of a cockpit being opened where the two tiggins wearing inside a cockpit are rolling around in some mud, scratching one another, punching each other in, trying to defeat a lady to the ground. It causes breakups. It causes women to go to each other's homes and be like, ke bono rwentseng ba mpontshitse sangoma engwe sona ya go phimvile tshelo gale ke sa go tshepe grandchapo bodile. Yar man, the audacity. O tlile against Kariaka last week ke le interviewing ka fila ke bono rena le something wait go sa tlo mpuisa grandchap wait king if only nje fela nna next na manicure hona no ne ke tlo go clapa. Yeah, yo as in keep my bunga this time around. Dirupitsena di young tena di japa di lasha fela pa haraba shiman pa ultra fela di young tena di rasa fela pa haraba shiman pa dirupitsena pa di young tena pa di rasa fela pa haraba shiman pa ultra fela pa wena o busy ka mathanga a gago a rasa underwear king tunic ya gago e ka fa gara panty girl. You that girl wa go lolwana ko school playground dong a o downa taba gore ke mang o tla latlhegelwang ke di fake eyelashes live week. They're trying to cause that level of chaos, and indeed they're prospering in the female community. We're taking girl beef fighting for vampire teeth, fangs. Dikatse ntse di le busy di tlhogisana di ntshana miriri mo lifeng. While some dude is like, oh whoa, ladies, come on, what's going on? And then the one I'm matlang, baby, what's up? Like, what's wrong? She went and put spells on me. Wallo yanjele yangitella. It's a good thing ufikile ne ke tlo mo shaba ka face. The other day ne ke batla ho etsa ntho sona and I was blocked. Only to find out after I went to go ngabona sangoma last week. Ongibonisa ukuthi ilenja lengso ishanye mpamu sangibhekile yazi. Next thing she gets up and the guy's like, whoa baby, whoa. Korobela we bone nenkai. No way. Busy there taking this dude O yena watla ke Father Creeper ke ke Beetlejuice. Father Creeper is my name and I'm creeping for your love. Whoa, this is that guy. He's creeping all up in your groka korobela mara ha we bone. Sangome ya gago ha ya bona. Mara o bone chicken. You saw the cheeky, but I'm shapa ka mpama mo tlapa wena. Wa itse ke mo moraga. Ona le kwai ele mo lifeng. E tlotlo sankere le wiki ya teng. Face beat ya gage e tla ba beating ka nnete o tlhaga blue eye. Eyeshadow ele e blue. Yo ba transferred over to under the eye. Wa itse ke ngotlo mo ntshantshwanang le yona. Grand chapo mo se ga ke re le ntsompa ele. E mo etsang montle wa itlosa. O tlosa everything chiquita. Oh bona. O go bona fandi one. All along na sa go tsebe this time o go tsebe. Yeah. Dirope tsa gago di a tshwantsa mo pela bashimane. Yo Gelzina, you out just trapping and cheeky because you found out she's a witch. Yeah, and then you marry a man that sowed that discord between you, that made sure that you saw her witchcraft but not his. That's exactly what this cult is doing. Yo, I can be jocose, okay? I'm full of humor, but this is very serious. That's exactly what these men are doing. They are sowing discord in the female community, and they're causing females to get busted for witchcraft. Chicken. Why now? Why are you so credulous? Why are you so gullible? Desperate. Hey, you deserve every ounce of exposure. But my goodness, not just you. Baba di zonga di barinyana tse ka satane ka korobela ka bring back lost lava ka bega mina kuphela ka fana creeper nabo ngamamba bakhitshwe. And then when I get by west, because they are destroying our careers, they are blocking your prospects and they are cloaking themselves. And because you're an unspiritual being, wanabat shame. How to be just like how right take baby le grand chapo compromise. You're a professing Christian, you have a reputation for being alive, but you're dead. However, the prayers of the wicked are an abomination to Emmanuel, so your prayers are hitting a ceiling. Given that you're not a true Christian, when you fast nothing happens. Given that you're not a true Christian, you probably don't even fast, so you will never know that this guy busy got cloaking spell while causing your cousin to get exposed for not bonga santing. That's what's good. Ke ha tswa petsa bona ka ofela di ka tswa grand chapo le taba ro pere thong ya Cisco. E ka tswa o lo mmona hape le re motho o mo hara closet wa pretenda gore o straight because what kind of a man envies a woman that much? What? Ke so mizi motho na ke motho go hara closet. The next thing o palesa wa bana wa B3. However, when you will pop 3 more babies, unlike o palesa who only gave him 1 baby. Nyaya guys, le tlo ntse lenyala bo somizi sebaka se kakang lonne ntse lenyala bo somizi sebaka se kakang motho ko o tswa closet e ka fa hara lenyalo. And like Janet Jackson a go fele ke re lo ngolaza ko why did I get married. Ke feel ngare ke le ka tifa wisdom wa nkere. Ke feel ngare ke le ka tifa con introspection. Take time to think, Gibogele. Take time. Tsang nako. Ga le se ditsene taba tsa o tatsa nako na o itse ke nna ke tsile mo lona ke re ke le zama. Ga motho a le zamme o le zamme ga le sa zame ge rona re letsang. Re letsang. Ga le sa zame ge re tla letsang. Re letseng. Ha le sa zame ke re tla le ba bo ma what guys in is. Ke mang mo life ngota go thusang ga o sa thusege. Ga o sa thusege. Anare o expect gore ke mang o tla go thusang. Mona ke a le ka o latlha basadi. Da fair. Throw away your jealousy wa itse keng. Latlhang mona. Ke atle ka separate le mona le bona grand chapo ka perspective because jaka galna le mona hakana ya re lose ya lona ya le blind le di fofu no di lasega le bona re lenyetse bo Beetlejuice mothako gana swag ga go tshwanele ke re le gate mara o busy nya dung ya vuma nya kanjani ka cancel lenyalo leo grand chapo Lord ompontshitse hore manyalo a lona some of them are going to be broken up, but not broken up, not manyalo, no, wedding preparations. As an auka chatty girl, you are yet to walk down the aisle, and even though you've booked the venue for 15,000 rands, you will lose that deposit just because it's not worth it. You will make like Kimang Mariah Carey in that music video, we belong together, and Michael Scofield, prison break. Yeah, he is acting in that music video as the lover that Mariah Carey runs to. You will on the wedding day literally walk out on your wedding day because you will realize allow the Lord to make you cancel a wedding even if you have paid hundreds of thousands of rands for dresses, for venues, for this and that. That money ain't jack in comparison to a lifetime of misery where you are married to some random buffoon that's gonna come out of the closet 15 years into your marriage with you having 3 kids and now his name is Caitlyn Jenner. You don't want it. Now you don't want it. You don't want it. Deep protecting from a cross-dressing transvestite all up in your marriage. that nonetheless dlisa ngekorobela ngoba indoda monela icheri kangako ufuna ukuba ithekini. One of these days he's gonna transition. He's gonna make like Mr. Beast's assistant wankutla. What was that thing? Hopping up and down on a beach ball, acting like he's always been like that. Nah, bolo ibobabona that makes them so envious against women also converts them somehow. It converts them. So how can the protector from having to deal with cognitive dissonance as Kris Jenner, wondering if at all this man ever loved me since he is such a girl now. To protecting, otherwise the a closet thing in Karabaperi teeny weeny insy pincy yellow polka dot bikini. He was afraid to come out of the water. Let's get to tipsinya ka nonsense agere because it's only temporary kaje kwa agere. Khonna monate lo toaster le crackle bubbly ko manyalong. Vandaag, Kalsani, ke divorce, maar I'm not first before being humiliated katabar monna go ke so mitsi, my life thing. Let's get Eerie DJing. But anyway, let's go back to talking English. My cousin, Upizi taking chicken still gotten not to this day or she's being used by an occult organization that has promised her wealth in exchange for her converting her cousin into a Stepford wife. And now I'm making war with her, and now her bunga and her zwape and her like everything inflatable is about to be burst. That's what's good. Swimming pool, and that's what's keeping you afloat. That's what this occult organization did with my cousin. It was like she was wearing a big aerated panty and she was thrown in the water, and one day a Neil rocked up, a giant one from heaven, boo, and now she's about to drown. She's about to get exposed by Wonkomuntula in South Africa as a witch. Her friends are about to go to Disangoma wondering why am I so chock-a-blocked, and they're gonna find out it's her. And when that happens, villagers are gonna come out with their pitchforks and they're going to want to decimate her. My cousin is gonna be humiliated overnight. I will not take it. My cousin's witchcraft, all of it. One single spell that my cousin has cast where I did not see her face in my grill. She was never trained to do cloaking spells because her occult organization put her it set up for failure. It set her up to one day have a whole bunch of angry women mobbing her for bewitching them. But the men that infiltrated their lives using her, they're gonna be their husband. Their husbands. They are husbands. They are thoroughly sitting in homes with women that they have brought into their lives with witchcraft. How grateful I am that I know Jesus Christ of Nazareth, because my oh my, how I would have been Beetlejuice's wife now. I had a dream where a cousin my cousin, kabang. Like she's a woman first and foremost, and she's a family member. So I mean, it's a combination of incest and just like an LGBTQIA plus relationship. And when I woke up, I was like, what kind of nonsense is that? God was like to me, no, honey, it's not that you're marrying your cousin. Yeah, it's that your cousin's activity is gonna marry you off to somebody that she would have brought into your life. Her witchcraft in blocking you from getting anywhere, making sure you stay lowly, ending up scanning groceries at the Pick and Pay even though you're a genius. Yeah, that's gonna get you married off to some random that is going to cloak his korobela and come in and rescue you out of a life of obscurity because your cousin will have kept you lowly. Yeah, she is that random woman at the airport that asks you innocently, innocuously to give her directions to Terminal 4, and then you end up walking into the back of some dark van because you trusted her. There are women who are being recruited by this organization to snatch women out of careers so men can rock up and play Rabubi, Rabubi, Ngizo rescue wa ukarabi, Rabubi, Rabubi, Kitotaka, Kani bonang, Ke Beetlejuice, Rabubi. That's even more evidence of the fact that one of these days you're gonna hop out a closet like a jack in the box. So it's all good in the hood. I've already dated one closet homosexual. I'm not going for another one. It's that basic. So give a bone in the outside. Because now, yeah, as a var skiving di dang. So give on I'm lifing, I'm on to you, I see. Bye. I'm not gonna marry a man that's gonna come out of the closet years into the marriage, or a man like Ricky Rick that's going to kill himself, leaving me with my children. I'm not doing it. Men in the occult are very susceptible to suicide as well. Another thing I keep on getting shown. And over and above susceptibility to suicide, albeit being married to wives, they also sometimes just freaking surprise you and are like, I'm Caitlyn Jenner. Woo. Whoa. Because there's no end, you guys, to what under heaven it is that is the depth of demon possession that a man can endure. They can get flipped into anything. I get Beetlejuice. I'm not gonna marry raw booby. I am not going to marry a man that insists on rescuing me when I'm lowly, however having orchestrated that very lowliness. I'm not doing it. As for that chicken that ditched me because some deuce decided to sprinkle you with like sneezy occult juice. Whoa, look at you being credulous. How gullible are you? Guys, I don't get how you gonna go gravitate away from an unfortunate woman. How you gonna go and break off from one woman? All of y'all, look up Ninja Fella as a concert. Or that's evidence that I'm in Christ. That's evidence of the fact that I'm the one that's got Ikarabolana. No wonder my name is Karabo. I'm the one here with the answer. So of course, you all dished me. Bonang, look at you, walking out, you're looking pitiful like a spell-casted lady. It's so clear. You're all under a spell. And you think Uguti, Mina, I'm the one here that's unfortunate. Hey guys, all of y'all have ganged up against me like agents in the Matrix at the very last one, Matrix Revolutions against Neo. The fact that you all are so like in hordes gathered around me, that just like, please, unfazed. What in the world? Lietsang? Hello, pole kom banana batia matini mugusha. Hello, pole diketo grandshap that I played with you guys. Do you not remember? Like truth or dare? Like don't you remember us pulling tricks on teachers go science lab? Don't you remember us drinking straw rum go Vids University go boss bar? And then taking photos at the student card. Don't you remember any of that? Don't you remember Carfax? Do you not remember like dancing it up a storm? Go Melville. Like 7th Avenue? Have you no memory of that? Like I was there. But Vava's J, I guess kinda lost now. How in the world did you all females literally gravitate like as a concert? No, how? Under heaven, do you account for why you made a decision to ubiquitously just a ditch one of your own? Now that memory Astro Ramo, I'm sure say because it stings. How in the world you all gonna go ditch me? Chicago. Scotch. For guys that used to actually annoy you because they would ride or play but like your flower that you drew more squaring sana manine ka scotch. Le fish eno we throw at the end mo le modim. Ebe parinyana e fitla ka soccer ball. Eraser. Ebe le mo pusha. On samwa bora Sipho ateng, you're standing with him at my expense. Kanjani, you are the nurturers of society, and when you stop nurturing, the world dies. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you even pity me is pitiable. Why? Because that are mindless drones and zombie, and one of these days you're going to be entering into a cockpit fighting each other for finding one another, bewitching one another. Some of y'all have been recruited into organizations to slay women to the ground. You are deliberately going out of your way to block women's careers. You are taking degrees. You are sowing discord in marriages. Frankly, you are doing them a favor. You are increasing an epidemic of not gender-based violence in the country, but woman on woman beef. And it's intensifying in the country. And with all that pie on your face, you're going to sit where you at pretending like I'm not onto something. First of all, and put your bodies in body bags and duffel bags on the sides of the streets to be found by some unsuspecting passerbys. And then when you cry and you complain, you say hashtag am I next, hashtag gender-based violence, hashtag this is a rubbish nonsense. Yes. You then literally allow yourself to be made little Frankenstein females that then turn on each other and stop focusing so much on their gender-based violence. I feel as if though you are a puppet on a string and they are walking all over you. They are drawing circles around you. They are running slaps around your minds and you're letting them. How you gonna let so much discord be sown between all your friends and you? Because how does an entire family ditch a woman? Umawam akazingeni indaba zam, my sister akazingeni indaba zam, both of them, my cousins abazingeni indaba zam, like nonke kanete kaufela. Yo, that's like basically who clearly loyalwe. Who very obvious. Marana, I apparently allegedly malang blomekona. Where it is that I'm hanging out. I'm the one that's unfortunate because I let's say big grandshap to see a curse when it's gawking at you. I'm blessed, don't you see? Because I'm in Christ. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers, but whose delight is on the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and in all that he does he prospers. So therefore, I am prosperous to eradicate myself from marrying Beetlejuice. I might be 39 and and single, but guess what? I'm not married to some dude wa mukaba otileng ho phala my pregnancy. So I don't know. Do you? I'm signing out in Christ's name, Crank. I hope you've been edified. Bye.